Shannon?
I've met workers in Detroit and Toledo who feared they'd never build another American car. And today they can't build them fast enough because we reinvented a dying auto industry that's back on the top of the world.
President Obama and Democrats have been touting the auto bailout as a success story for the economy. But one group says there is another side to that story. Joining us now, AlexCortes, a member of the group Let Freedom Ring, which has just released a new ad about this topic. Alex, thanks for coming in.
Great to be with you, Shannon.
All right, I understand that the issue has to deal with a specific group of employees, Delphi, who were not unionized, and they say because of that, they were the loser in the winners and losers that were picked by the administration.
That's right. At the Democratic convention, you heard them talk about the auto bailout and how great it was 115 times. But not once did they mention these losers of the auto bailout. Obama handpicked these losers, the non-union workers at Delphi, GM's primary parts supplier, and he completely terminated their pensions, subjected them to pension losses of up to 70%. At the same time, he used taxpayer dollars to bail out the union pensions at the very same company, picking winners and losers clearly. What's happened to his supreme concern for fairness?
Well, you know, the administration has a number of times publicly said that they didn't pick winners and losers, that it was the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation, a separate entity that made these decisions. They say that this bankruptcy was handled like 34 other corporate bankruptcies that same year. And they've testified on Capitol Hill under oath, some of them, that there was no picking of winners and losers based on union status.
Yeah. Matt Feldman, one of the members of Obama's auto task force, in his sworn deposition, he admits that it was the Treasury Department's position to terminate the pensions of the non-union workers and to bail out the pensions of the union workers. That's your smoking gun. You can't get beyond that. The Daily Caller has also reported the Obama administration excluded the PBGC from meetings about the pensions, which is probably illegal. And here's another fact to consider. The non-union pensions were 86% funded. That's higher than the average of the top 100 corporations in America, and none of those pensions were terminated. But these non-union workers woke up one morning and lost everything.
And you've interviewed them, you've talked to them, the folks that are now in these ads. What kind of impact has it had on them? I mean, they're counting on this, and to lose up to 70% of your pension for any of us, that would be a significant hit.
It's dramatic. I mean, there's over 20,000 Delphi salaried retirees, these non-union workers who have lost up to 70% of their pensions. So they plan for retirement carefully. They're counting on this source of income. They wake up one morning and it's gone. How are they supposed to do it? They're already retired. They're out of the workforce. This is Obama's direct harm on them, and the American people need to know this before they vote.
Why do you think we haven't heard more about this? I mean, I know that the House Ways and Means Committee is now involved. They've asked for documentation. They've asked for answers. You know, why do you think we haven't seen these headlines?
Sure. I mean, the Democrats aren't talking about it clearly. The media is not going to talk about it. Thank you guys for covering it. But that's why we're here. We need to let these auto workers speak on camera about how Obama harmed them. It is our duty as American citizens. We have a moral obligation to be a voice for them and how they've been harmed.
What hope do you have that the House committee or that other entities looking into this will have any real action? I know there are some lawsuits involved as well for the workers, you know, hoping to get any recoupment that they can of what they lost.
The real hope for real action is we need to make this a political liability for Obama. He clearly is so concerned about his election that if this becomes a liability for him, he'll want to settle it right away, is my belief. And so our greatest time for helping these workers is now. You've actually had Democratic Senator Sherrod Brown and Democratic Senator Debbie Stabenow tell Obama, please fix this problem now. There's several plans on the table where they can fix this without taxpayer dollars, and he's not taking action. So if it becomes enough of a political liability, I hope that he'll have restitution for these injustices he imposed.
We want to listen to a little bit of the ad so people can see the stories that you're talking about.
Both my husband and I worked for Delphi, and we both lost well over 40% of our retirement.
It's made life pretty rough. I mean, I really struggle to pay for the basics.
If you work hard and play by the rules, then you've earned your pension.
I would ask President Obama why I had no rights.
And Alex, you actually interviewed some of these folks, so you know the stories personally, you've checked them out?
Yes, last month I was with 6 of these workers who had their pensions taken away by President Obama, and I interviewed them on camera, let them speak about how they've been harmed. It's very powerful stuff, and we need to get it out there more.
All right, you referenced the testimony from Mr. Feldman. Again, the administration says there was no picking of winners and losers, but we'll watch now that this ad is out there. Maybe there'll be more of a national conversation about what happened.
I hope so. We put $7 million behind this advertising buy, and hopefully more with the American people's support.
All right, AlexCortes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Well, a government watchdog group is accusing some top officials at the Federal Aviation